Hey, this is Curt. I want to welcome you to the Creek Bank. This is where our YouTube channel is, also our podcast, and our blog. You can start off by finding all this at www.creekbank.net. We're glad you joined us today here on the old house porch. I got a story I'm going to tell you today. There's actually two stories in one that have the same theme. And I'm going to call these stories Falling Out. Falling Out. Now, people have disagreements, and I've seen it all my life, and it's like in the country. Many times those disagreements within a family or over land or wills or inheritance. And sometimes I've seen it so sad where siblings will fall out with each other and not speak. They've had a falling out. Now I want you to listen. There's a difference between a disagreement and a falling out. We all have disagreements. But a falling out is when we let that disagreement become bitter. And a falling out always involves someone becoming bitter. And I'm going to say this about bitterness. It's the least productive of all human emotions. Nothing good can come out of bitterness. The other emotions, something good can come out of them, but not bitterness. And these two stories about two brothers and two sisters who had a falling out and what happened. Now, the first one comes to me, and this story was told to me about two brothers over in West Texas that were carpenters. They built houses together. They'd done it for years. They'd worked so closely together, they knew what the other was thinking, exactly how to do everything. But one day, and I don't know what it was about, they had a falling out. They had such a falling out, they wouldn't speak to each other. Not just for a little while. Not just a week, but it went on and on and on. They were working the same job. And he said, well, how could two people work together and not speak? Well, they knew each other's routines so well, and they would talk to each other through other workers, but they would not say a word to each other. Two brothers. Now, this went on a long, long time, till one day, one of the brothers stopped, hammering his hand. He said, you know what? What I ain't seen in a long time is a chicken snake. And the other brother looked at him and said, well, I haven't either. Got to come to think about it, I haven't seen a chicken snake in a long time. And what happened, that broke the ice. They got back on good terms, worked together the rest of their lives, and tore down that wall that was between them. And what did it? Chicken snake. Well, not really a chicken snake. It was one of the brothers that evidently just got tired of not talking and had to bring something up. And one of them had to take the first step. I want you to listen close to me too. I'm not preaching, I'm sharing. When there's bitterness and falling out, somebody has got to man up and take the first step. Now, my second story is just as good. It takes place in Dry Creek, and I call this the two sisters. There's a family that lived in Dry Creek. I knew them all my life, and I knew these two sisters. One lived in Dry Creek, and one lived in Lake Charles, and they'd had a falling out. I had no idea what it was about. I don't want to know what it was about. But it was such a falling out that their families fell apart and would not do anything, have anything to do with each other. And it just broke my heart to see it, because I don't like to see Dry Creek people not getting along. But anyway, for years they were estranged from each other. And then in 2005, first of all, Katrina came. Now here in Dry Creek, we didn't get any wind or rain from Katrina. We just had hundreds of people from New Orleans come to stay with us. But a lot of you may not remember that a few weeks after Katrina, she had a bad little sister named Rita, and she tore up southwest Louisiana. Now, what happened on this day as Rita was coming ashore, they did a mandatory evacuation for Lake Charles. And so Dry Creek's sister, listen what she did. She picked up the phone, called her sister. They hadn't talked in years. She said, sister, where are you going? Lake Charles' sister said, I'm not sure. Dry Creek sister said, I'm sure you're coming to stay with us. You know what? That's just what happened. And they renewed their friendship. They're both dead and gone now. But as far as I know, they were in touch with each other to the end of their lives. You know, falling outs are bad, but falling outs don't have to be permanent. Someone, though's got to take the first step. I bet you know of someone, somewhere, that's had a falling out. It could be within your family or you. I want to encourage you to take the first step in getting it right. I'm so glad you joined us today at the Creek Bank for these stories. Hope you'll join us again. We'll be back soon. In the meantime, as always, we'll leave the screen door unlatched for you.